Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Tony Moly MAC Glitter Liquid Eyeshadows. I picked these up because they have the quills on the top and I really wanted something that had the quills on it, but the eyeliners just didn't work out for me. I actually ended up giving both of those away. So I decided that a glitter shadow is, that's pretty up my alley. I don't remember seeing these previously. So I'm kind of confused about when these came out. I thought that the MAC collection all released together, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I think that the packaging is adorable. That is totally why I picked them up. The colours looked, they looked alright, so I ended up getting them. But yeah, that's obviously the reason why I picked them up in the first place. So the product description says, it is a liquid formulation without dusting, excellent adhesion and smooth texture. Various glitters produce three-dimensional eyes. So the packaging of these glitter shadows is really cute. It has the little quill style topper, but this quill doesn't come out. You actually unscrew this one to get to the doe foot applicator that dips into the liquid glitter shadows. There are 3 colours in the collection and they are all really pretty, but I find that one of the colours has a significantly different texture, which is unusual, but overall I think that they look really cute. So the first colour I'm going to show you is number 1, which is Mystery Flash, and this is a silver glitter. So for my first eye application, I'm going to be using my fingers and the doe foot applicator to apply this. The texture is really thin and the glitter doesn't feel too chunky on my eyelid, which is great. And this is pretty easy to apply with my fingertips and the brush, although I do find that a lot of the glitter does come off onto my fingertip, but it's not too bad. So the application with my fingertips gives me a really sheer sort of coverage for the glitter. So this time I'm going to be using a synthetic brush to move the glitters around on the other eye. So I'm going to place them down with the doe foot applicator first. Oh my god, I just did that way too high. Oops! And then I'm going to use the brush to simply move the glitter around and blend it. And take it right off the top of the eyelid. That looks terrible, oh well. So I'm using dabbing motions rather than anything else to move the glitter around. It doesn't actually move that well with the brush, but it's also way glitterier if you do it this way. So I do have to go back in with a second amount of the glitter. So I'm going to place that where I want it, which is the inner and outer corner. Because apparently the top of my eyelid really wanted some of that glitter on it. And then I'm just going to dab to blend. So this is what the glitter looks like on both eyes from far away and then also up close. So this is the eye that I used my fingertips with, so you can see it's a very sheer amount of glitter, and then this is the side where I used the synthetic brush. It's much more pigmented and much more glittery. So it depends on what look you're going for as to how I would recommend applying it. If you want that intense glitter, definitely use a brush to move the glitters around. If you want less of an intense glitter, like this is more of an everyday sort of look, definitely use your fingertips to blend it in instead. But this is shade number 1, which is Mystery Flash. Shade number 2 is called Rose Flash, which is a peachy pink shimmery shade. This shade is definitely a shimmer for me rather than a glitter, and for me I can kind of see like peachy purpley tones in the hand swatches, which is a little bit unusual. It's a little bit different. I'm not the hugest fan of this colour personally, so I'm going to use my finger to apply this eyelid again, so I'll show you what this looks like. I think that for this one in particular, because it's not glittery, the fingertip application really doesn't work that well because it just looks like nothing. Like you can kind of see a little bit of a peachy sort of like base, but it's nothing in comparison to the brush application. So that is what it looks like with the fingertip application. And now I'm going to do the other side with the brush. So this is Rose Flash, and this is what it looks like up close. So like I said, I find it really hard to see it when you use your finger, but with a brush I can definitely see a bit more of the shimmer. However, this one is a really subtle colour. I feel like for me it almost makes my eyes look a little bit puffy, like I look a little bit sleepy or a little bit sick. I think it's because it's got that pink and purple reflect along with the orange. It just probably doesn't look the best on me in particular, but I can see it suiting a lot of other people that suit the more orangey tones. Unfortunately, this is just not a colour that I really gravitate towards. So the last shadow is Moon Flash Childs, which is a really pretty colour. To me this colour looks a little bit more coppery than Rose Flash does. It's a little bit darker, but they are quite similar colours. So I'm going to do the same thing and apply it this side and blend it out using my finger. So I try and cover my eyelid as much as possible initially, but the fingertips definitely, I think I've said it a million times by now, the fingertips definitely give a more subtle effect. So if that's the effect that you're going for with your makeup, I would definitely recommend your fingertips. You can build it up, but with a liquid shadow, it's going to be like a little bit drying on your eyelid, so I prefer not to build it up that way. So that is Moon Flash Child on one eye. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye with the brush. I'm getting as much as I can on the doe foot onto my eye, which does sometimes require dipping it in multiple times because it doesn't actually pick up that much. And then I'm going to use that brush to blend out any harsh lines and to just tap it into my eyelid. So that is what it looks like on both sides. This shade actually looks really equal, so I'm kind of surprised. There's not so much of a discrepancy between using your finger or using a brush. And this is what Moon Flash Child looks on my eyes. So you can see that this one doesn't have as much of a discrepancy between applications. I actually really like the colour. It's a really nice coppery colour with silver glitter. It's shimmery and glittery, but it's not so glittery as the first one, that was quite like glittery. But I like this one. I think this one is probably my favourite shade out of the range. So although I love the packaging of these products, some of the colours are not quite what I was expecting. I'm just looking at the swatches now because I had the product description up, and Rose Flash doesn't look anything like the promotion photo. The promotion photo looks like a really pale pink, like more like this sort of colour pink with silver reflets. It looks like a very icy pink, which would be super cute. But my Rose Flash definitely looks peach. Like 100% looks peach and kind of looks like has purple shimmer. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on with the swatches. Mystery Flash, which is the silver, looks like the swatch because how wrong can you go with silver? Moonchild Flash definitely looks brighter, so it looks more like a dusty pink, whereas in real life it actually looks more like a copper pink colour. Copper nude is what I'm wearing at the moment. This one is Moonchild Flash. So, but in general I actually do enjoy wearing these shadows. I've worn them a couple of times before and they do last really well on my eyes. The only thing I will note is that they do feel a little bit drying. So when you first put them on and they're drying down, you can feel it drying down on your eyelids. It's a little bit tight. It's not too uncomfortable, but enough that I noticed it. They also don't really smudge off that much, so the glitter will actually come off on your fingers, but it still looks pretty good. Like, it's not coming off in patches, it's just some of the excess glitter is going to come off if you rub your eyes, but they're not sticky at all. So if you have eyelids that are more like a monolid and you're worried about them coming up and like imprinting on the top of your eyelid, I wouldn't worry too much. They are pretty good in that aspect. So overall, I really do enjoy wearing these glitter eyeshadows. I think they are kind of similar to the Holika ones that I reviewed last month, but not so similar that I feel like I couldn't have both. These are definitely sheerer in colour, plus the Holika ones are all kind of like orange. So at least there's a little bit of variety here. But that is all for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching as always. I will see you next time. Bye!